and welcome to the second video in our series around asset management. In this video, I'm going to talk about planned or preventive maintenance, and this is number 2. The planned or preventive maintenance in asset management is handled by setting up a so-called maintenance plan. And the maintenance plan can be based on fixed time intervals, which I'll show you in a minute. But it can also be based on how much you actually use your equipment or your machines. So that's another way that you can set it up. And then I'll do a demo on that. And when I've been over that, I'll show you how we can create the work orders based on the planned maintenance plans. But let's have a look at the maintenance plan. So basically, a maintenance plan specifies what needs to be done. So in this case, this is a maintenance plan for a forklift, and the lines represent what needs to be done and how often. So these are the jobs. We need to do some cleaning, we need to do some service, we need to do some inspections, and then it also specifies the frequency of that execution. And the interval can either be based on time intervals or usage. So in this case, you can see here that the cleaning job is based on time and it's done every 1 month. So it's a monthly cleaning job. And these two service jobs, we have a regular service and we have an extended service. They are counter-based. And in this case, they are based on the number of hours. It could be like runtime hours. So we have a regular service for every 1,000 hours, and we have an extended service for every 3,000 hours. And then you describe or specify which assets are included in the plan. And you specify the start date for when we start using the plan. And then, then you need to activate the plan. And that's actually very nice that you can actually set up your plan, but it doesn't have any effect until you activate it. So you can work with your plan, you can do your setup, you can try things out, but it's not until you activate it that it actually takes effect. Assets can actually be included in multiple plans. In this case, we have a forklift maintenance plan, and we have some forklifts assigned to that plan. But you could also have forklifts that were assigned to other types of plans. So it's not one-to-one. You can set it up in the way that makes most sense for you. But let's have a look. So I'm going to go into Dynamics 365. And as you can see here, we have the asset management module, which is an entire module, and it's right there. And if we go in here at the setup, in the preventive maintenance, we have the maintenance plan. So you can see here, this is actually the forklift plan I was showing in the PowerPoint presentation just before. But it could also be a plan for conveyors, it could be a plan for mixers, but they are structured in the same way. But if we go have a look at the forklift, first of all, we can see here that the plan date was the 27th of January 2023. The plan is active and it contains these dates. So you can add new lines, and for each line you then specify if it's a type time-based or if it's a type counter-based. And then you specify the job that needs to be done. And you can give it a description. So this is the description is actually the one that will be displayed on the work order. Then we have the possibilities here. So in this case, it's been set up to happen every period. In this case, it's month, every 1 month. But you also have to say, okay, and when do we start? And there are actually quite a few possibilities here. So in this case, it's repeated from plan date. And the plan date was the one we had up here. So that means for all the assets that are part of this plan, they will actually have the same cleaning date because it depends on the plan date and then every month from there. But if we look at the inspection, if we look at the inspection, I might decide that the inspections should not be from a shared date. It should actually be based on when we originally started them. So in that case, I could change this to be repeated from the start date. And the start date is actually put down here. So every asset that's part of this plan could have individual start dates. So now they will be asynchronous. They will not happen at the same time. So it all depends. Would you like to bundle? In this case, I bundle the cleaning jobs. I want them to happen on the same date, but I want the inspection jobs to be depending on when I actually started to use that particular asset. Then we also have the option to do it repeated from last work order. If I select that option, it actually means that if I was a little before or a little after the expected time in my last work order process, then it will adjust according to the dates that we actually did the last work order. We also have some options down here, something that we do only once. So for instance, one from plan date, one from start date. These are things that you could do, for instance, if you install a new asset, then maybe like 4 weeks after you've installed it, you might want to do a particular maintenance job, but you only will do that once in the lifetime of the asset. Then you could use these options. There are a lot more options down here that you can have a look at, but I would say in general, I can't come up with any scenario that we can't cover. Furthermore, if we go out here, you can also specify some seasons. So for instance, in some types of work, if you do something that's outdoors, there might be something or it could be that you have a high season or a low season. Then you can actually use the season to set up that you have specific frequencies for specific dates or specific periods over the year. So this is actually how you set it up. And once you've set it up, you need to activate it. It doesn't have any effect until you activate it. But let's go back to the presentation. The next thing I want to show you is how we can create work orders. Work orders, I would definitely recommend that we work with the work order proposals. Once you've set up your maintenance plans, based on that, the system can automatically create either work orders or work order proposals. When you do create the work order proposals, you can kind of compare them to when the master planning is creating planned purchase orders or planned production orders. So it's more like a planned work order. You have to confirm it. You have to convert it into a work order. Just like you would have to convert a planned production order to be a production order or a planned purchase order to be a real purchase order. The good thing about working with work order proposals, instead of just letting the system create the work orders, I would definitely recommend to do that, is that then it gives you the possibility to say it, to see if it looks right. especially when you start implementing the system. If you've set up a wrong frequency, for instance, you set it up to happen every 1 day instead of every 1 month, once you've created the work orders, you can't just uncreate them. So it's better, at least for initial period of time, to always work with the work order proposals. And then you can easily then convert them into a work order once you've had a look at them. Whether you create work orders or work order proposals, only active plans are included. So if you have created a maintenance plan, but you haven't activated it yet, it will not give you any work orders or work order proposals. Things that are time-based, that's pretty clear. If we've set it up to happen every 1 month from a particular date, then it will come up with a work order or work order proposal on that particular date every 1 month. But if you have something that's based on the actual usage, then the way the system does that is that it creates a linear projection of the registered counter values, which means that if you start using your equipment more, or if you use it less than you usually do, then that will be reflected in the projected or expected next work order date. Let's have a look at that. So in order for us to create work orders or work order proposals, there is a standard job that you can activate, and I'm just going to do that. It's called Scheduled Maintenance Plans. And when you do that, you decide how far out in the future you would like to look. And that very much depends on the type of business that you work with. You could say, I would like to look 1 month ahead. So that's what I'll do here. Once we've done that, this is a job that you can put up in batch. So if it's something that could run every night, or you could start it in the morning, or you could start it every Monday, but it's something that could be run automatically. Then if we go here, as soon as the job is finished, we would then be able to see, in this case, I have decided I only want to have work order proposals. So based on my maintenance plan, we can see here that we have these expected work orders that need to be performed. We can see if we have the weekly cleaning jobs for our forklifts. They are here, and we have them again here. So we have the cleaning jobs. We have some service jobs coming up. We have some cleaning jobs for the mixers. We have a conveyor service. So these are all created based on the maintenance plans that I've set up. So let's go back to the presentation. Once we have set up the maintenance plan and created the work order proposals, we are now ready to create the work orders. And again, I would like to emphasize, I will always recommend to create work order proposals and then from there create the work orders, because this gives me the opportunity to see if there's something, if it looks like expected, if there's something I might want to bundle together. So in this case, I might want to say that all my forklift cleaning jobs, I would like to put them into one work order because it's small jobs. So I would like to have one order for that. It could also be that I have a service job coming up for a machine, but I also have a repair job for the machine. Then I could decide I want to bundle those. If I create the work orders directly, I will always get a work order for every work order proposal automatically. So when I create the work orders, I simply mark the work orders that I need to create work orders for, and then I decide how I would like to bundle them. Let's have a look at that. So in this case, if I'm happy with what I have, I could, for instance, I could select these. And then I press new work order. So that's one way I can take them a few at a time. And then I could say I would like to create one work order. So that's one way for me to do it. I could also say, but actually it all looks fine to me. So I'm simply going to take all of them. I'll create a work order. And then I'll say I would like them to be grouped by, in this case, let's group it by asset type and maintenance job type. And I'll press OK. What you can also see up here that we have forecasted a total of 27 hours to perform these work orders. So actually what happens behind the scenes now is that it will create the number of work orders based on the grouping I've selected, but it will actually also create a project for each work order. That's an entire different story, but if you want to learn more about that, please don't hesitate to contact us. As soon as we've created the work order, of course, the work order proposals are done because we've converted all the proposals into work orders. So we can now have a look at the work orders that we've got created. So here, for instance, we have the cleaning job. So that's the cleaning work order, and we can see all the forklifts are part of that cleaning work order. So that's basically it. So this was my second video where I focused on the planned maintenance. If you want to learn more, please don't hesitate to contact us, and the video will be available on our webinars website. And I really invite you to look at the coming videos also. Thank you very much for your time.